Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. I'm here this week to go over your choice boards so that we can talk a little bit about what you're doing and answer any questions you may have. For my class, I think we're shooting for a Zoom on Wednesday. I'm not sure the time yet. So I'll get back to you on the time. I kind of want to see what time works best where I could get most kids on. Okay, so first I want to do shout outs for Imagine. So people that passed the 2 required lessons. So guys, some of you guys, I'm seeing your parents turn in your work really early to me, like Tuesday or Wednesday, but then you have 0 minutes on Imagine. So if you're turning in your work really early, you should be spending those other days on Imagine. So make sure you're doing that. People that passed at least 2 assignments. Gavin, great job. He passed 2. Kyla, great job. 2 math assignments. James passed 3. That's amazing. Marcus passed 2. Great job, Marcus. And those are my only ones that passed 2. Some people that passed 1 were Isla, Brandon G., Caden, Tatum, and Nathan. So great job passing 1. I want you to shoot for 2. Everyone else, we had 0. So I really want you to be working on Imagine Math. It's really important. So I know, do your required work first. But if you're finishing that, if I'm seeing your mom and dad turn in your work to me on Tuesday, Wednesday, and you have extra days till Sunday, please be on Imagine. It's 30 minutes a day. So please be doing that. On Imagine Language, so we're shooting for an hour. That's 20 minutes, 5 days a week. So the people that get shout outs for that, Tatum, great job. Caden almost had 2 hours. Gavin, great job, had almost 2 hours. Brandon G is our champion for this week. He had 3 hours and 35 minutes. Great job, Brandon G. James had 1 hour and 22 minutes. Marcus had 2 hours and 31 minutes. Brock had 1 hour and 10 minutes. Ziamara had 2 hours and a minute. And everyone else, you were below the amount. Some people didn't even log in. Some people didn't even get any minutes at all. So please make sure you are doing that and you are getting on Imagine for those. So those were my Imagine shout outs. We'll talk about that more at Zoom. But definitely if I'm seeing your work super early during the week and then I see that you have 0 on Imagine, that's something we need to work out. So let's look at ELAR for this week. So this is your choice board. You should have had it emailed. If your parents aren't getting my email, definitely have them shoot me out a remind. Go. My daughter's trying to interrupt even though I told her I was doing a video. Very rude. Okay, so your have-tos for ELAR are to read the story, play Louie Louie on pages 42 and 53 of your My Book. So guys, your My Book went home with you with your packet. It wasn't something to be thrown away, but some of you guys did. Some of you guys are missing it. So I'm currently working on seeing if there's a way we can get it online for you. Hold on just a second. Please stop that and come back later. Stop that and come back when I'm done with my video. Because I told you I was doing my video. My daughter, not listening. Told her I was doing my video. So she'll just have to wait. So your first have-to is to read the story, play Louie Louie. So it's on 42 and 43. So guys, it looks like that. You had your My Book. You should have kept it. If you haven't kept it, then I'm trying to find a way for you to do these assignments. But really, anything we sat at home in that packet, you should hang on to because you're going to need it. And you're going to need your My Book. Your math books, your science textbook, your Think Up books. Definitely. Those should not have been thrown away until school's over. And school's not over yet. Okay, so you're going to read the story. And then when you're done reading the story, you are going to, just like in class, answer the collaborative questions. Okay, so I sent answer sheets for math and I combined ELAR Science and Social Studies because you're just going to take a picture of this. I'm not going to have you write in this and then write it on notebook. Just write on here. Just make sure you write neat enough so I can read it. So one of the questions is, what words and descriptions on these pages, so it has you read the pages, 44 and 45, reveal the biographer's narrator. So you're going to look for clues as to who is narrating the story. And why is the biography's point of view very unique? So there's something really specific about that. So I want details from the story. Number 2 says review pages 48 and 50 and use text evidence to describe what Joe Oliver was like. So you're going to describe him, but you're going to use sentences from the text to show me, oh, I'm sorry, I'm shaking this, of what it looks like and what you read in the story that made you think that. And then the very last question says, which details in the text help you understand what makes Louis such a successful musician? So remember, details from the text. What in the story made you think he was successful? So that's one of your social ELAR have-tos. The other one is still off Louis, but you're answering these questions that are on your paper. Again, you're going to write them and just number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't need you to write the whole question. Just number them. Who are the cats in Joe Oliver's band? That's very simple. But make sure you are writing your sentences in you're writing your answers in complete sentences. So the cats are, and then you would put it. Second question is, how did Joe and Louis play in the band together? So you'd find the answer and you said Joe and Louis played in the band together this way. Who is telling the story? So you should already have that from your collaborative discussion. Who is telling the story? Blank is the story's narrator or is telling the story. Number 5, you should have that also when you're looking at from what point of view is the story told. So remember, our point of view is first person, third person limited, third person omniscient. You need to be thinking about that. Who is telling the story and what point of view? So you can say first person, third person, and then you can give the name of, if you know the person, you can put that in there and you should have it from your collaborative discussion. And then why is an eagle a good image for Louis? So why would they choose an eagle to represent him? What do they have similar that you would compare them to? Okay. So those are your 2 have-tos. Those are the only 2 assignments you are sending to me. Some of you guys are still sending me pages and pages and pages. Only those 2 with the stars are what I need to see, and then your choice board colored in. You keep the rest. So some of your other choices to do are, you can do definitions on notebook paper from the critical vocabulary words, how we do like before when I would present it, I'd show the vocab words, we talk about what they meant, and then you guys would give me a sentence. You can write those down, that's fine. Or if you want to do it oral with your parents, that's fine. You can, just like we did it, where we shared. Another one is you can write about sensory details that you see, 3 sensory details, kind of like whenever we talk about how an author is creating pictures in your head. You can also do page 104 in your Science Think Up workbook. That's on idioms. So remember, idioms are phrases that don't really mean what they say. For example, it's raining like cats and dogs. Well, that doesn't really mean cats and dogs are raining from the sky. It means it's raining really hard. So that you can do that on figurative language. You can make an anchor chart of all the different points of view. So you could do first person, third person limited, third person omniscient, and even second person. Remember, we talked about second person is when it's talking to you. So it's kind of rare, but definitely something to look at. Let's see what else you can do. You can write a fictionalized biography about someone you know more about. For example, you could write about your favorite football player or your favorite movie star or your favorite artist. You could write your own fictionalized biography, and that would be for fun. Let's see, you could write what you can talk about Louis on page 20 and 21 and talk about how it shows first person point of view. And then the last one is you could write a summary of the story and include your 5 W's. So remember, our 5 W's are who the story was about, what happened in that story, when did it happen, where did it happen, and why did it happen. Okay, so that's your ELAR for this week. They're pretty simple. If you're still struggling with them, definitely let me know. I know there are a couple of you who do not have your MyBook, so I am working on that. And hopefully I'll have an answer by tomorrow or our Zoom meeting on Wednesday. So let's move on to math. First thing on your math, your have to is your topic 3 test. Now, you will notice, and I sent a remind message to your parents, you will notice there is a front and there is a back. You're not doing the back, you're only doing the front, okay? You're doing your topic 3 front. So when we look at topic 3, these tests are usually reviews of concepts we've already gone over. So let's look at this. A banana contains 105 calories. Last week, Brendan and Leah ate a total of 14 bananas. How many calories does that represent? So this is a lot of multiplication. Multiplication is so important. It is a lot of the foundation of a lot of math. I was just working with Mila, that's why she's all salty, because we were working on perimeter and area, and it contains multiplication, and she was not getting her multiplication facts right, so it was causing her to get all of her questions wrong. She got all her area questions wrong because she didn't know her facts. So that's definitely something we're working on, and math facts will help with that. So this is multiplication. Now you guys don't just do single digit multiplication, you're doing 2-digit, 3-digit multiplication. So I'm looking a lot about that. It's really story problems. What is the total amount of sales on Saturday, and it gives you the amount of sales, 24, and they sold 157 books. It's multiplication. Okay, so only the front page. So topic 3, a review on story problems covering what concept? Multiplication. So please make sure that you are doing it, and have your parents check your facts. Make sure you're multiplying correctly, because if you multiply incorrectly, you'll get the whole question wrong. Your other math have to is topic 2 test. Okay, this one is front and back. You are doing front and back because it's only 12 questions. 12 questions, 12 questions. This one just has them spread out front and back. But you are doing the 12 questions. Okay, so let's look at what concept it's doing. A dollhouse has 1,500 square feet downstairs and 2,500 square feet upstairs. Which of the following reasonable estimate of the total square footage? So when you're dealing with measurement, like square feet, you're going to want to round to the nearest whole number. And I can see that my answer choices here are whole number. I can also see that dreaded not here. Do not pick that unless you're absolutely sure that it is not there. So to remember, the formula for area is length times width. You have all your formulas in your math notebook, so make sure you're looking at those. So you do length times width, 15 times 6, and find your correct answer. Well, I can already mark out 9 because if I'm multiplying 15 times 6, when you multiply, the number gets larger. Why would it go down to 9? Okay, so really think about those things. And just be wary that they will give you the wrong operation answers. They'll give you answers for adding those numbers together or subtracting those numbers. Any way that they can try to trip you up. Look at your formulas. The next one says Lexi went shopping and bought shirts that cost $12.15 and $16.85. She paid $1.74 in taxes. How much did she pay in all? Use mental math to solve. Again, with money, just like those measurements, you're rounding to the nearest dollar because it says use mental math. So I see 12 plus, is 16.85 closer to 16 or 17? I kind of think 17. And then $1.74, to me, that's closer to $2. I would add those numbers up, use my mental math, and then I would find my number that matched. If you have trouble with mental math, some people have to see it and have to write it. My son cannot do mental math because he's very visual. He had to listen to a story today and he just could not concentrate because there was no picture for it. So if you have to add these up, add them up. It's no big deal. Now, one thing with these answer sheets, guys, I am asking you, just write the letters. I don't need to have all of the numbers. Just write the letters. I know the numbers. Okay, so on your answer sheets, just write A, B, C, whatever it is. You don't have to write 90 square feet, $30.74, because then I have to go back and I have to match the letter to the thing. So just write the letter for me. That would be wonderful on your mouth. Just write the letters. If there's letters, just write the letters. We have enough writing with the ELAR. All of these seem pretty straightforward. If you get stuck on any one, you can reach out to me. You can call me. You can have mom text me. I had kids call me last week and I worked out a problem with them. That's definitely available. So these are all review. They're mental math review, but if mental math does not work for you, work it out. You've seen me all the time. I'll try to work something out in my head and go, oh, it's not right. Let me check it. Work it out. So let's talk about what are some other things you can do for math. So these are the only two things you're turning in to me. You're turning them in on your answer sheets or you're making them on notebook paper. Please don't send me all of these pictures. I would love for you to either use the answer sheets that I have given you or answer sheets you can make on your notebook paper. But you're just writing the letters. Please don't send me pages and pages of circled in work. I'm trusting that you're doing the work. If you start failing things, then me and you will have a private conference over the phone and we'll figure out what the problem is. And then I may ask to see your work. But for the most part, most of you are doing really, really well. Just write the letters on the answer sheets. That's all I like. So some of the other things you do, you go to BrainPop. Remember the username is Vickers Elementary, Vickers Elm, and Lions 1. And you can type in customary units and do a quiz on that. Watch short video, take a quiz. My son, my daughters love those. You could do the math challenge. It gives you a pattern, and they're asking what's the next two terms. There's another math challenge. They're kind of like brain teasers. So just something to boast. Do I need those? No. They're just to help you keep up with your work. There's an Envision review on decimal multiplication. That may be something you want to review. You have a Think Up math workbook. That's on prime composite. So if you still struggle knowing the difference between prime and composite, remember a prime number has only two factors, one in itself. Nothing else can go into that number. For example, the number 7. There are no numbers that can create the number 7 other than 1 times 7. There are no numbers that can divide into 7 evenly other than 1 and 7. So that's what makes it prime. If it has even one more, like 9. 9 is always a mistake for prime. 9 is not prime. Even though it's odd, it's not prime. 9 and 1 multiply together to get 9. But guess what? There's a third factor, 3. 3 times 3 gets you 9. So just because it only has just that one more, that makes it composite, okay? There's another Think Up math work on prime numbers, so that'd be great to do. And then the last one is some number sense problems in your Envision math book. So all of those pretty good. I only need the answer sheets for topic 2 and topic 3 tests. Say it again with me. Only the answer sheets. Do I need those? Okay. Let's move on to science and social studies. So your science half 2 is a text review. So text practice review, this would have been something we did getting ready for our science STAR test. So there are questions over lots of different concepts, okay? Use your math notebook. Use